Yeah, there you go. You can do it. Come on. Come on. There you go. Not really your thing, is it? Hello everyone, I'm Rose and you have found Untwist Your Stitches, a Flosstube channel about my cross stitching and any other crafts that I care to share with you. I film once a month and this is my way of showing off my stitching and connecting with other cross stitchers. I do not have an EGA or a local cross stitching group that I can meet up with, so this is my way of sharing. If you have been here before, thank you for coming back. I appreciate your time. I know there's a lot of Flosstubers out there, so for you to come and share some time with me, I really appreciate it. If you are some of the new subscribers that put me over the 500 mark, thank you. I appreciate your hitting that subscribe button and coming and sharing a few, well, probably a little over an hour and a half today because I have a lot to show you. I've been really getting a lot done in January 2025. I'm pretty impressed with myself. I didn't know I could do this much. I normally don't. So if you're new to this channel, do not expect this every month. This is not how I normally work. I stitch bigger projects for the most part, although I do throw in smalls now and then just to give myself that feeling of accomplishment. If you are a previous subscriber, you'll notice that I am in a different location. I'm sitting in front of my DMC collection that I bought several years ago. If you want to hear the story about that, you can go back to, I think it was when I was putting together my craft room video that I made mention of where I got all my floss, or maybe it was an extra. It wasn't a regular Flosstube. So I will put that information in the description so that you can find it if you're interested. Like I said, this month I have a lot to share with you. I have several FFOs, and that means fully finished object, which means they are ready to display and enjoy. I believe I have a couple of just FOs, which are finished objects, which means I've done all the stitching, but I haven't put them into a displayable, whatever I'm going to use to display them. And then I've got whips, I've got haul, and I have some giveaways to celebrate me surpassing the 500 subscriber mark. So let's get started. When I was here in January, I mentioned to you that I had joined the Roxy Floss Co. one-of-a-kind thread club, and I have received my first set of threads. And these are the first 7 that were sent to me. This first one is called Pearl. Then we have, oops, come on, let loose. We have Shoreline. We have Skipper. And we have Cliffhanger. Now these are all obviously a family of colors that you can use together to create shading or whatever. Then they send you a contrasting color. And this contrasting color is called Marina. And then we have a variegated, which they are calling Overboard. And finally, and this one I absolutely fell in love with. And this is why I joined this club. Now you may or may not be able to see it very well, but it's speckled. And it has blue and yellow and a dark brown. And it's just, I mean, can you see the speckling on that floss? This was the floss that made me want to, it's called Beach Glass, sorry. That was the floss that made me want to buy this club. And I can't wait for next month's, but this is what I have so far. And they are just wonderful. I already have plans for the speckled, and I have plans for pearl, and I believe I'm going to use the Skipper. So I already have plans to use them. Now, as you can see, I do not need more floss. I have drawers and drawers and drawers of DMC floss, but that got me. I could not resist it. So if you're interested, you can go to Evertote. They are the ones that are that you can buy the subscription to the club. Now it's a limited subscription, so I am not 100% sure if there are still spots, but you can at least go and check. And then you would know if you could get in on it. But those are great. I love them. And each month you get seven skeins. So we'll see what happens next month. Now this one, in order to promote the club, they showed you what you were getting. From now on, it's all going to be a surprise. So we'll wait and see what comes up next. Okay, so let's move on to fully finished objects, or FFOs. This is not my stitching. This was given to me by a person that follows me on Instagram. And she found out that we had moved to a new home, and she stitched this for me and sent it up. And she asked me, did I want her to finish it, or would I like to finish it myself? Well, to save her the money of the extra weight, I said, go ahead and just send the stitching, and I will find a way to finish it. Now, I had no idea what she was sending up to me. And when I got it, I thought this was great. What she has done is she has found the longitude and latitude of where my house is. And she put that in. So this is a very unique, one of a kind. Nobody else will ever have the same pattern. She also put myself and my husband's name on it, and in Whitebird, Idaho, and the zip code for my location. But is that not fabulous? And then I had this, it's a plate. It's a plastic plate that I had bought on sale in, I believe it was Hobby Lobby is where I found these. It was either Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And I thought that that would be a great way to display this. So I put it on here. I added the cording. I also added the blue to the cording to, you know, put it together. And I put a little, I have these compass charms. So I added the compass to it, thinking that with the compass rows up here that she had stitched, that it would all be put together and really come out great. So this is not my stitching, but it is my finishing. The next thing I have is a piece that I completed in 2023, but I've been trying to find the perfect way to display it, because in my mind I have it in, I will put some pictures up of what I was looking for. I was looking for an old screen, window screen that I could put this on. Well, I just haven't been able to find it, but I will put some pictures up of some of the things that I had in my mind that am looking for. And I am still looking for that. But in the meantime, I want to display this because it's so fun. This is Crabby All Year by Raise the Roof Designs. And like I said, I finished this in 2023, but I've never been able to find the screen that I was looking for. Well, on Etsy, they have these different, cardboard cutout. And so I found this one, which I thought, you know, it kind of looks screen door-ish, but it's not exactly what I want. So I painted it and I kind of gave it a kind of a rustic look. And this is how it is displayed currently. But I'm still looking for the screen that I can put it on. And when I do find that, then I'll be changing it out. But in the meantime, this is how it's being displayed in my house. So that's number 2, FFO. Number 3, you've seen this a few times if you've been watching me. I finished this in 2024. It's Strawberry Faire by Oct House, and it was stitched on 16 count doubloon with my color conversions of Fancy Floss. And this is what it is. And I made it into a little pillow to put into a dough bowl. Well, the reason I'm showing it to you now is I finally got the fiber fill to make it into the pillow. I've been waiting and waiting for my husband to bring that fiber fill up. And when he was here in December for Christmas, he brought it to me and I was able to complete the pillow. So this will be displayed this spring when I bring out my birds and my other spring decorations. But I think it came out really cute. So that is the third FFO. The next one, you have seen this several times, but it is now completed. And what I did is I took a wood block and and it had a groove cut into it. I had to expand it a little bit because when I put the fabric on, it made it so it wouldn't fit in the groove. So I had to expand the groove. But then I had this fake fur and I covered the block in the front with the fake fur. And this is, it sits on its own so that it can just be displayed like that. This was Robin Christmas Patchwork. It was Historical Samplers Christmas Mysteries Sal, and mine is done in my own colors. I chose the fabric. It's a 32 count Zweigart Belfast linen, You'll also notice that there are some changes from the original pattern, and that is because when I was stitching it, I turned the fabric the wrong way, and it was too short to put all of the motifs that were designed together. So I had to kind of rearrange a few things to make them all fit. I found this cup here, and for me, it's hot cocoa. For other people, it might be a hot toddy, it might be hot rum, whatever. But, you know, a winter hot drink. I had to change these a little bit. Santa had to go up here. But all in all, I think it's beautiful. I love the conversion I made. There are a lot of sparkles in this. I added a lot of metallic in different areas. There's metallic in the white. But yeah, so this is not exactly how it was charted, but it's very close, only with my color conversions. So that is completely finished, and it will come out next Christmas and winter. So let's see. I've got notes so that I don't forget anything, and hopefully. The next thing I have, I was working on my Mad for Plaid It's So Emma bag. And this is a pattern that I had. It was not made for these bags, but I counted them up and it fit. And it was a pattern that I've been trying to find something to somehow to use it. And when I saw the red plaid, I thought it would be perfect, and it really is. It came out wonderful. And these are just okay. I don't know. I just had a bit of a coughing fit. Anyway, this is my rendition. It's called Smiling Strawberries. It is a pattern from Vermillion Stitchery, and I've had it for several years. And then I just added the little beads with the ladybugs and bees to give it a little bit of fun. The next thing I have to show you is one that I've been working on for several years, and I finally finished it. It is the piece that I did for my husband. So let's see. It was this. This was the pattern, and the reason I chose this pattern is when he received the quote that I have added to this, it came with this picture. And I thought that was very close to how that picture looked. And it just worked together. So here is the finished piece. And it is a quote, an old Cherokee quote. I read it to you last time when I was showing this. It is stitched on 16 count haunted, and I charted the words myself. It was not charted for me. But I think it came out very nice, and this is a great frame for it. I think it really highlights the wolves, but doesn't detract from them. And I framed it myself and laced it, so it was done completely by me. The next one I'm going to show you is my blessing sampler for 2025. Now, I've never done a blessing sampler before, but I thought, why not? Let's give it a try, see what comes of it. And I chose this pattern from Sugar Stitches, and mainly because, you know, of course, I love Mr. Snowman. Now, I took the January out of mine. Let me show you how I have finished it. I took January out. I added the cardinal. I charted him up and added him. These snowflakes are actually the ones that are on the bottom next to the window. But because I added the cardinal, I had to extend the window frame a little bit, and that changed the spacing, so I had to rearrange it. And then instead of having these here, I just have one where the 2025 is. And I added blessings, but I didn't add it large. I wanted it there, but I didn't want it to be the main focus. So this is how I have finished my blessing sampler. And it'll hang in my living room for the year. And then as we go along, I'll explain what I'm going to do more about that. It's just that will come later in the video because it also is involved with haul. And my final finish is this carnation. I got this pattern in 2010. It's an Ellen Maurer-Stroh, and it was a freebie. There are 12 of them. They are flowers of the month. Now, I am not doing them in the order that she did them. This carnation was actually supposed to be January, but because of the colors, I thought it fitted in with February better. It's on a 16 count hand-dyed, or not 16, I'm sorry, a 14 count hand-dyed Ada that I dyed myself a couple years ago. And it's in this, what do they call it? A continual calendar? Anyway, you can find these at Paisley and Polka Dots. The first time I saw this setup was when I was watching Handmade by Sarah W. She has one of these, and it sits behind her in her stitching area when she does her regular floss tubes, and I really liked it. But they're very hard to get hold of at times because they sell out really quickly. But this is going to be my my way of doing it. It's got magnets on it, so each month I will put a different flower in, and it will change with each month. Oops, because I've got it. No, that's the right way. I don't know why it's being a pill. Oh, because one of my magnets came off. Okay, I'll fix that later. One of my magnets fell off, so I'll have to fix that. So those are all of my fully finished for January. I was so excited when I got so many done. It's like, wow, this is awesome. But as I said, do not expect this every month, because this is not normal. This was an anomaly. So, and that was, I call this a staff, because I started, finished, and fully finished all in the one sitting that I had to stitch it. It took me 3 days to stitch it, and then it took me, you know, however amount of time it was that it took me to put it together. It's not perfect. There's a few things that I will change when I do the next one, but it's cute and I enjoy doing it, and it's for me, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So there you go. No problems. All right, so let's move on to our whips. Our whips. Haha, my whips. The way that I do my stitching is I start on Sunday and I end on Saturday. And each project gets a full week's worth of time. For me, because I only have 12 to 13 whips going at any given time, for me, that works. It doesn't overwhelm me, but it does give me a chance to work on different things and to, if I want to have a start, because with all of these finishes, I have some open spaces, so I'll have some new starts. If I want to have a start, there you go. You know, it's just the way that I work, and it works for me. It doesn't work for everybody, so I don't want you to think that I'm judging anyone, because I'm not. So the next one I have, you have seen several times, and it is going to be my focus piece for 2025, because I have been working on it for so long. I want to get it as close to finish as I possibly can. Every month I will have work on this piece. It's my Heaven and Earth Christmas Cottage. It is from Donna Gelsinger. It is being stitched on 16 count light dove gray. It was started in 2013. So that's why I am focusing on it. Now, for 2 years, I never had any stitching on it at all, because I had other stitching that I wanted to do, and I just didn't have time for it. So even though it was started in 2013, this is really only the 10th year that I've actively worked on it. And there were a couple years where I only worked on it for like maybe 2 weeks total. But it is a tribute piece to my dad. And here we go. So the last time you saw it, I was finishing up, excuse me, I was finishing up this page here. And I had less than 20 stitches to complete that page. I should have just finished it when I was working on it, but I didn't. I stuck to my routine. So for this month, I worked on this page here. And I am happy to say I got at least 50% of that page done. Now, the reason I say at least 50% is I work off a paper pattern. So let me show you. I know you're not supposed to show patterns. However, if anybody can figure out this from what I'm going to show you, I will be impressed. This is the page that I am working on. Each page has 4,950 stitches. I counted up as well as I can the fully finished squares, some of the partially finished squares, and from my calculations, I am 50% done with that page in 1 week. Now, some of the pages, there's no way I could have done that because they are so confetti heavy. You know, this tree, there were like 2 or 3 stitches and then you were changing the color. 2 or 3 stitches changing the color. The same over here in his scarf and in his hat and in the woodworking. In order to get the detail without doing any back stitching, you do a lot of confetti stitches on these full coverage pieces. They are worth it, but they can be very frustrating at times. So that is 1 week's worth of progress for January. Now, will that happen every month? I would hope so, but I'm not going to guarantee it because, as I said, depending on the amount of confetti that I'm stitching will depend on how quickly I can finish a page. But I'm getting into areas where there's not quite as much confetti, so I'm hoping that it'll move along faster. But yes, that is my heaven and earth. I work on it the last full week of each month. So I worked on it from, let's see where my notes are. January 19th to January 25th was the time I spent on that. The other things that I worked on this month were all finished except for, oh no. So I worked on my blessing sampler. I worked on the wolves. I worked on the strawberry bag. Oh, I do have another whip. This is just a small that I pulled out and wanted to work on. It is from this book, Angelic Snowman, and it is the patriotic, I don't think there's a picture. Oh yeah, here he is. Right down there. This is what he'll look like when I finish him. And I'm very close to a finish. Got to finish his little bottom down here. Put another wing on. And there's another star that goes over here. And then do the back stitching on the stars. And put in the turkey stitches on the end of his scarf. And he'll be finished. So I would say maybe 2 more days of working on him and he should be finished. But for now, he's being set aside. And I'm going to have to be back in just a minute because the whip that I'm working on currently, I forgot to bring it in. So give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Thank you. This friendship square is what I have done Sunday and Monday, Tuesday. I finished it last night. So, I count it as an FO, fully finished, because each one of these patterns comes individually. Even though it's a series, each one is sold individually, so you can pick and choose how many you want to stitch. I'm doing all 12 of them, plus a few extras that I'm going to be adding in, and I'm making them into a banner. But for the way I count things, this is a fully finished. Now, the whole piece isn't fully finished, but this one pattern is, so I get to count it. The next one will be going here, and it is not part of the Sheep Virtues series, but it is a little house needlework design, and it has sheep in it, and I just want to add it as part of what I'm doing. So next month when I do my video, you'll see what my next one is. But for now, friendship is done. So those are all of my whips, and whips stand for work in progress. I know some people are new to the community and we throw out acronyms and think, oh, everybody knows what that means. But obviously not, because we get questions. So I try, but I don't always remember to explain what I'm talking about. I need to move some things around so that I can continue on. So I will be back in a minute with my plan. Okay, so I have rearranged, and I'm ready with plans and what I call postal prizes, because the majority of the things I need to buy have to be sent to me because there's just no place local that I can shop at. The first one, now that the wolves are done, I have an open space in my rotation, and I have chosen to do some stitching for my grandson. He is obsessed with anything spooky. He loves skeletons, he loves zombies, he loves all of that kind of stuff. So when I saw this pattern, I couldn't resist. And I'm going to be doing it on this 16 count black Ada for him. This one I think is going to go pretty quick. There's not a whole lot of colors to it. It's pretty much, you know, you can take one color and do all of it and be done with it. So it is going to be a pretty quick finish, and then I'll have that for him. But I also have this one, which is a Glendon Place Poltergeist Pirates. If you watch Lost Our Needles, yes, Lost Our Needles, they are doing this one, and it looks amazing. It is so fun. So when I was watching them and saw this, I thought, oh, this will be perfect for my grandson. He will love that. And I am not going to be doing it on the same fabric that is called for, but I have this fabric, and I think it will look amazing on it. It is called Phantom. It's a 16 count Ada, and I believe it was a Picture This Plus. Yes, it's a Picture This Plus die. But won't that look amazing for a stormy night with the pirate ship? So those are going to be in place of the wolves. That'll be in my rotation for that. Let's see. The next thing I got, and this is a purchase and part of my plan. So I found this. I like to stitch something for my sisters every year for their birthdays. One is in August and one is in November. So I have plenty of time to plan for it. And I thought this was really cute. The last couple of years I haven't been able to stitch anything for them because it's just been too busy. But what I want to do is on one, I want to use this striped fabric. It is a 32 count natural stripe linen. And then the other one, I'm going to use this 32 count. Let me open it up. Polka dot linen. So even though they'll be the same pattern, they will be unique for each one of my sisters. And I think this, with the reds and everything, it will look really cute on that. I may have to darken up the sunflowers, but other than that, I think the colors will be perfect for these two patterns, or for these two fabrics. So those are plans for this year. I think I'm putting it in place of where I had my blessing sampler. And this, it's not very big. It's only, let's see, on 16 count fabric, which the 32 over 2 would be 16 count. It's only 4.5 by 5. So it's not very big. It'll stitch up in no time at all. Then, because I found that, this is from 123, is 123 Stitch is where I got these. When you look at certain things, then they'll give you suggestions for other similar patterns. This one, Ladybug. And I saw that Laura, the East Coast Stitcher, yes, she did this for her trading card stitch, and I had already purchased it when I saw her working on it on her last Flosstube. So I thought that was kind of funny that we had both found the same pattern and wanted to do it. Another Ladybug is Miss Ladybug. I thought she was just really cute. And I have a lot of Ladybug designs or decorations that I put out in the spring. So these I can put into either dough bowls, or I can create a little banner for my door display. And they'll work well with that. I found this Mill Hill kit. I've been trying to track it down for a while. It was out of stock on 123 until just recently. And when it came back into stock, I ordered it immediately because I love cardinals. I was telling you that I would explain more about my blessing sampler as I got into my purchases. Now, when I first purchased the January, I did not realize that I already had February and March. I had bought these to do as seasonal stitching for these 2 months. Well, now I have decided that I will do the same each year as I did in my January sampler. I'll take the wording out, I'll shrink it down, and this one will be 2026. This one will be 2027. 2028. 2029. And so on. So I ordered all of these so that I would have that design and they wouldn't, disappear on me before I got each year that I wanted to stitch them in. Now, does this mean that I will be doing 12 years of blessing samplers? No, that does not mean that. It just means I have the option, if I choose to use these as blessing samplers. Now, some of them, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's what I want to do with them, but at least I have the option. And I do know that I want to do February and March as blessing samplers. So, having done that, that means if I'm going to have a seasonal sampler for February and March, I needed to choose something different, because I'm not going to do this and then also do, the bottom half as a blessing sampler. Not going to happen. So while I was buying these, of course, these came up. Well, I think this would be a perfect February sampler. I will take out cherry. I will put in February. I'll take out one of the cherries and put in some roses. And then I am not a fan of cheesecake, so I'm going to take out the cheesecake and put in some more hearts. So that's what I have decided to do for February. And for March, also, I'm going to make some changes. I'll take out where it says blueberry and put in March. I'll add in some of the violets, and then where it says Irish Blessings, I think I'll take out the jam, the blueberry jam, and put the blessings, the Irish Blessings in that area. But when I get to it, I'll figure out exactly how I'm going to do that. So, those are those. And then they also had, I should not have gotten on 1, 2, 3 stitch, let me just tell you. They also had this Halloween, which I thought was really cute. And they had Noel. Again, super cute. So I had to get all of them. I couldn't resist. What can I say? Sometimes my my push the button to buy it gets a little carried away. Also, during my 1, 2, 3 stitching, I bought this. It is called 32 count Valor. It's a Belfast linen. And 32 count Smoky White, another Belfast linen. And I do have plans for those. I just don't have them kitted up yet, so I can't show you what they're going to go with. Another thing, when I was watching Linny and what is their names? The Sable Stitchers. Anyway, They showed a picture that someone had sent them. Where's this pattern at? Sorry, I should have been a little bit more prepared. They showed a picture that somebody had done this pattern in this way with the stand-ups. And it was fantastic. So I immediately got on the secondary markets. I got on Etsy, and this was available. It is Merry Christmas ABC, and it's 1993 edition of this book. It is a Leisure Arts publication, and they had it for a very reasonable price. And I asked the seller if it had the entire pattern in it. I was sure it did, but I just wanted to double check, and they immediately answered me and said, yes, is this what you're asking about? And it was, so I immediately bought that. When will I get a chance to work on it? I have no idea, but it will be a piece that I do sooner rather than later, because when I saw the picture of how it came out with the stand-ups, it was just so good. Also, some more from Paisley and Polka Dots. This is their round stand, and this is their oval stand. And I've got a couple of pieces that I would like to put in these. There's a cardinal that I believe will fit on this one. And then there's, I think it's an owl that will fit on this one. And I think I'm going to do it where I can change them out. I don't think I'll make it just a one piece. So I need to decide if I want to paint them white, if I want to paint them off-white, if I want to do more of a beige color so that it'll work with more than just one pattern. But yeah, you paint these and put them together. They've got directions on how they go together and whatnot. But they're really nice, sturdy stands. And I've heard a lot of very nice things about the Paisley and Polka Dots pieces. And the the calendar I got is really well made. So I would recommend Paisley and Polka Dot. The next thing is several of my embroidery scissors just aren't cutting the way that I need them to. They're getting dull. And so I decided that I would buy some new embroidery scissors, and hopefully they're all of a good quality. But here's the first one. I like the black scissors. I don't know why, but I just find them very elegant, and they just look so nice when you're working with them. Then this one, it has kind of a green tint to it, and my favorite color is green, so I got those. These ones have big finger holes and a nice sharp cutting edge, so I got these. And then I found a set of 3. They're each a little bit different color, but they're all the same design. And it was a set of 3 for a very reasonable price, I thought. So I got those. And each one will have its own scissor fob I've got spare scissor fobs that I want to put on these. And then I also ordered a couple of scissor fobs from my friend that makes them. So she's going to be sending those up to me soon. But yeah, so those are, I did a lot of purchasing this month. And hopefully, I've got it out of my system and I won't be ordering anything for the rest of the month. So, as I said at the beginning of my video, I have gotten over the 500 subscriber mark. Yay me! I think that's awesome. Thank you all for subscribing and taking the time to watch me. Like I said, there's a lot of floss tubes out there, so I know you've got a lot of options. And when you come and spend time with me, I am very appreciative of you doing that. So, I am going to give away 5 different prizes. This one, the reason I'm giving this away is I've got 2 of them. A friend of mine bought me one of these without realizing that for Christmas that year, my daughter had bought me the same book. And what it is a book to help you, let me read the introduction, the first part of the introduction. Color is everything and everywhere, and it affects our mood, making us feel happy or sad, excited or calm. It can't be touched or felt, so it must be spiritual and inane quality that we all include in varying degrees. And what it does is it explains color families. It gives you ideas for shading. It's just a really good reference book. So if you're interested in this, put the word book in the comments. And I will be drawing for my March video. So you've got a whole month to watch and decide if that's something that you want. The next one I'm going to do are 2 Lizzie Kate patterns. One is At Our House Rules. And the other one is Dear Santa. This one, because I had the colors, I kitted it up, and I also gave you a piece of linen that will work. It's the correct size. It's not the same color that they used, but it's very close to it, and it is the same size, and it's big enough to complete that pattern. And also the little buttons that came with the pattern are in there as well. So if you want these, they come together, but only one of them is kitted. Put rules in your comments. The next thing is a Nora Corbett Bewitching Pixie. This is Zinnia. I have done her. I changed her colors to green. If you go back in some of my previous videos, you will see her. I changed her colors to green to fit my needs. And also, with the pattern, you'll receive this thread bed. And it's got this little, for putting, I don't know, if you want to put your floss in there, or a needle minder, or scissors, or whatever. But it's a cute little thread bed. So the 2 of these will go together. And if you're interested in zinnia, put pixies in your comments. Pixie. No S on the end of it. Just put Pixie. The next one, because I'm filming in February, I thought, let's do a February design. This is Quilty Love by, it's a Lori Holt design. It has all of the floss. It has the fabric. And the fabric is opalescent. I don't think there's... Oh, there's a scissors in there. A tiny, I think they're called snips scissors. And what else? What else is in here? Oh, a hoop. So everything you need to do this pattern is all in one. So if you want to receive this, put Valentine in your comments. And the final thing, there are 3 JBW designs. And each one is kitted up with floss, fabric, finishing fabric, and ribbon, so that you can complete it start to finish. This one is a very merry autumn. And these are the colors that I chose to put in with that. Now, they're not the called for colors, but they are autumn colors. This is French Country Elephant. It's very cute. In there, I put both pink and blue floss, so that if you want to do it in blue for a boy or pink for a girl. And as I said, finishing fabric and ribbon so that you can complete it. And this one is, again, because it's February and we're all thinking of Valentine's Day, French Country Amour. And this one has 2 different colors of pink, a bright pink and kind of a subtle pink, and then fabric for finishing, fabric for stitching, and it's all in there. And each one is cut to be big enough to complete this on the count that it calls for, not for the exact fabric that it calls for, but this one says a 28 linen, this one says a 32 linen, and this one's, I believe, also a 32 linen. So the size of the fabric is correct for what it calls for. It's just not the exact fabric that is suggested. And again, a hoop so that you can get started on it. So if you would like these 3 JBW designs, put kits, and this one does have an S at the end, kits, in the comments below. Thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this journey that I've put you on. I know it's a little bit long. There was a lot to share. Again, I appreciate you coming and spending time with me and watching what I have to offer you. And I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you come back. If you're just casually found me, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button and come back and see what I have to offer next time.